As a former law enforcement officer who now hates law enforcement, allow me to explain my journey into hating law enforcement. I had a personal beef with a sheriff, and so I decided to get into law enforcement to try to change things, and I failed doing that. And so it took me a while to kind of have my great awakening to finally go full bore against police officers. And so I left South Carolina originally in 2019, and I started establishing a place to stay here in Washington State. So yeah, I left South Carolina from probably the super duper East Coast to probably the furthest northwest you could really go in this country. And here's my driver's license here. This was issued in 2019. And so the question becomes, why am I here now? Well, the reason why I'm here now, I traveled to 48 states in 6 months. And I was organizing protests in every state because I started hating police officers even before George Floyd. See, this is not like a fad to me. This is not really a grift because I have a personal vendetta. See, people don't understand the reason why I took it personally when I failed to reform law enforcement in the state of South Carolina, whereas you have a state where you had 13 sheriffs convicted, not just locked up, not just freaking arrested, but convicted of crimes since 2010. That's how bad that state is when it comes to cops. I failed in changing that state, and I took that personally because I take failure personally. And so now they've earned an enemy who's also a multiple-time combat veteran rated at 100%. I'm rated at 100% for VA compensation. Okay, so I spent a lot of years in combat. And so the one thing that I've learned during this journey is that many of these people believe that there's going to be a riot after every police shooting, after every police misconduct thing. And when you look at the data from the demonstrations in 2020, most of the demonstrations were actually peaceful. There's actual data that actually shows that, right? But these people believe that. The people who support cops and the bootlickers, they believe that. So we can use that against them. The mythos of the mythical 2020 riot dragon, we can use that against them. So once you have them in this state of psychological fear, you're already well on your way to winning. Because I learned something from the goddamn Taliban. I spent a little bit of time with them. I talked to these people. I learned how they operate. And you can hate them, you can hate their methods, but the one thing you gotta give them, they are fucking effective. And I'm gonna use some of their same tactics here. And that's why people like me, I'm not gonna take credit for everything, because there's no way I can. But I have a whole organization, BLM 757, some Proud Boys. I have help. So I need your help too. Fuck cops.